Hey friends, you're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry. And you may wonder why I'm outside in the snow messing around with a generator. The generator failed last night. And because we've had so many days of overcast skies, we haven't had any solar power for about 10 days. And unfortunately, this generator quit after dark while it was still snowing. More snow was forecast. And Irene and I talked about it and decided to wait until it was light this morning to come out and work on the generator. So I'm going to go ahead and move the board off. Now in this case, I know why, or at least the controller here was telling me why the system was shutting off, and that's because the carbon monoxide sensor detected there's too much carbon monoxide. Well, that shouldn't be happening because that shouldn't be happening because it's outside and not enclosed. There are 6 screws that I need to take out that hold this faceplate in. At least that's what the exploded parts diagram says. I hope it's right because I don't want to take this whole thing apart. If I'm right, and I'm not positive I am, it's possible to correct this particular problem. Now, it's not a safe change, so I'm not recommending anybody do this. But right now, our main access road is extraordinarily muddy. And I would go out if it were a matter of life and death. Or at least I think I'd be able to get out. No, I'd be able to get out. This is the kind of repair. Oh boy, that one's really tight. I'm gonna try using my other hand. There's always one screw that's going to be a problem. The problem is that these are not really high quality screws. They're machine screws with a Phillips head. They have a nice painted coating on them, but they're also quite soft. I'm not going to keep turning that. I'm going to go get another screwdriver. Sometimes you have to change screwdrivers because the tips, this tip is screwed up anyway. I wish I'd seen that before I came out.
Hello.
I have 2 stubborn screws. And Phillips head tip is messed up and I didn't see that before I went out, so I'm going to just throw this tip away and get another Phillips head screwdriver.
Makes sense. And we have lots of those replacement tips, so. Yep. I believe you. There are actually containers of Phillips head tips, I just don't know where they are. Good luck.
I'll get this going as quickly as I can so we can watch a tournament of roses.
I know.
I just threw away the other screwdriver because the tip was cracked, so it only had 3 solid flutes to go into the head of this machine screw. And I brought 2 out because screws come in different profiles. Now I'll see if this one does a better job. Oh man. That one broke loose. That was actually the hardest one. It's a good thing I didn't try to turn that with the other screwdriver. It would have stripped the head out. If I read that diagram correctly, this should just slide out. Let's see. Is there another screw in here? Sure feels like it. The exploded parts diagram for this generator isn't clear on how this switch is attached. And it was put in with a screw. Now I should be able to pull the whole panel out and look to see where the wires go for the carbon monoxide detector. Unfortunately, there's a plug in here that connects between this little circuit board that is the warning indicator. It goes back to some of the electronics to control the engine. My favorite kind of connector. There we go. Now, there's red, yellow, blue, and green. Those are the wires. And I need to figure out how I'm going to jump that. Well, I'm going to guess that the yellow and green are what controls whether or not the engine's allowed to run. And the blue and red are the connections for the sensor. Well, now I get to find out whether or not I have the right little bits to make a cheating connector. It looks like I do. I'll be able to make this work. Now I have a collection of different electrical connectors that are commonly used in automotive applications. Fortunately, the smallest pieces that I have will do the job in here. I just need to go get some wire and crimp these pieces onto the wire, and I'll plug it in and see if I'm right. all that just to see if my guess might be right.
A few moments later.
I've made a little jumper that has connectors on the two ends that are going to slide onto this plug, the connectors inside this plug. I'm guessing the red and blue, the color coding in this generator is different from all the instructions I have for connections, so I'm not sure. One of the connectors is on now. Now it's getting the other one on. I think I have those on enough to do a trial. The switch that allows you to control the choke on this generator is keyed, so it can only go on one direction. So make sure, I'm going to take off my ring. I'm not planning to be around any electric. Inside the wires anyway, inside the panel at least. So, make sure I'm clear of all the high voltage. Now the first test seems to work okay, and I'm going to press that on a little bit more. I'll put the panel back in place. I'm not going to completely put this panel all the way in. I'm just going to attach two corners. And if this actually continues to work, then I'll come back and put all the other pieces in. I'm going to let this generator run for 10 or 15 minutes like this before I finish buttoning it up. Typically it has quit after 5 or 10 minutes, or sometimes even less. So now it's looking okay. We'll see.